Alright, so I'm going to talk about another fanfiction idea, and this one is a kind of crossover between She-Ra and He-Man. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait a minute, She-Ra and He-Man are connected. Well, this is the She-Ra from the new Netflix show, which just ended, and a crossover of, like, its own version of He-Man. So it doesn't really follow any real He-Man continuity. This is basically like a fanfiction of a, what if we did have He-Man in the She-Ra show. That's basically what this is. So He-Man. So in this story, this takes place after the season finale, the series finale, in which magic has returned and the new best friend squad, including Best Ship or Toxic Ship, pick your poison. Best ship ever. They all are heading out into the universe to restore magic to the universe, but along the way, they discover that there was some form of magic before that was resonating from a planet not too far away from Etheria. And it turns out that this world was its Etheria's sister world, Eternia. Now, Eternia is actually where we discover where Adora is actually from. Adora was taken by Shadow Weaver and Hordak, as we know, from another world. We thought she was a descendant of old ones, but in here I retconned it that no, they stole her from Eternia and brought her to Etheria during a failed invasion. The Horde tried to do a failed invasion of, not the Horde we know. It's more like Horde Prime, who tried to do an invasion of Eternia. Shit went sideways, and that's how we kind of led to things getting, Adora being taken to Etheria by Hordak and raised among the Horde. So, in this story, they find their way to Eternia because what had happened was when Etheria brought magic back to its world, what had happened was that it sent out a signal throughout the whole galaxy, and the world that picked it up first was its sister world, Eternia. And Eternia, of course, we have the sorceress who was like, holy shit, we found the other one! We found the other royal member! And the sorceress, of course, the first one to make contact with Adora, saying, hey, you don't know me, but I'm known as the sorceress, and you're from our world. You're from Eternia, and I want to take you back there. So of course, like, Adora's like, all right, sure, I'll check this out. Akatra's like, I'm going too, and the princesses and of course Bo, Glimmer, and everyone else, they all go as well to Eternia, where Adora meets her actual parents, King Randor and his wife, and she's like, holy shit, you're my actual parents, what the fuck? And they were like, yeah, you were stolen from us as an infant, when you were born, you and your twin brother were separate. And she's like, back up, time out, brother? I have a brother? And that's when Adam walks in. Now, this version of Adam is not like the big older guy. He's actually like Adora's age. So they're, like I said, they're obviously twins, so they're the same age. He's younger, and he does have Cringer with him. And Cringer, just like Swiftwind, does talk, and it's like, the Cringer we all know. He's like, oh, I don't want to do this. And, yeah, Adora and Adam hit it off like it's two long-lost siblings. Of course, Catra's like, against all this, because she's like, this is bullshit. And I love that moment where I wanted to have this moment in the story where Adora introduces Catra to her parents. She's like, hey, so I know we just met, but this is my girlfriend. That's cool, right? And Randor's like, sure, okay. Adam is like, I have a sister, she has a girlfriend, I'm rolling with this. So, also, the other thing is that Adam already has the sword. And he's like, when he finds out that she's She-Ra, obviously he's keeping it a secret. He is keeping that it's a secret, and when she introduces herself as She-Ra, they're like, King Randor's like, oh, you're like our hero He-Man. And she's like, who the fuck's He-Man? And that's when later she discovers that Adam is He-Man. And in here I wanted to have it that this version of He-Man, it's kind of like Shazam, where obviously where I said Adam's younger, like Adora, but he turns himself to a grown man. Like, he becomes a grown man, much like, again, with the whole Shazam thing. And Cringer becomes Battle Cat. And Adora's like, holy shit, this is so cool! I have a superhero brother! And Akatra is still, like, on the fence about all this, because there is something weird going on. And Catra's digging into and discovers that there is evil here, and that evil's resonating on Snake Mountain. Turns out, yep, if you didn't think certain Skullboy was going to not show up, you were sadly mistaken. So in here, Skeletor I treated more like Darkseid. He's more like a Darkseid or big villain, because in this version I wanted to have it that Skeletor was the master, and even Hordak Prime was afraid of Skeletor. Like, I wanted to treat Skeletor like this big Darkseid or Apocalypse-esque character. He is still like, "Nyeh," but he's scary. Like, I wanted to have it like he's terrifying, almost like how I kind of imagine how Mark Hamill is going to portray Skeletor in the upcoming Kevin Smith show. And all of his evil minions are there. The Merman, who I had a fun fight in mind with Merman and Mermistia, and him fighting her and Seahawk. There's also Evelyn, who takes on Castia. There was Beastman, who goes head to head with Scorpia. There was Triclops, who fights Entrapta. It was like all of these, great, these fun, versus ideas. And also, I wanted to have the princesses meet the Masters of the Universe, where they're like, Masters of the Universe, we save the universe. You don't get to call yourself... I wanted to have, some animosity, because obviously, they did all this work, and then here come these so-called Masters of the Universe, and to which Adam and Adora are equally like, hey, knock off the dick measuring, okay? We're all friends here. So Skeletor, after the whole magic return to Etheria thing, is like, I shall go to this... I'm not doing the Skeletor voice. I'll go to this Etheria and take it over, because obviously it's still weak after defeating Hordak Prime, which Hordak Prime couldn't beat me, so what fucking chance do they have? So Skeletor, now supercharged with this new magic that's in the universe, breaks a whole, teleports all of his minions there onto Etheria and begins a conquest of Etheria. While this is going on, Adam and Adora are trying to find, the secrets of Grayskull, which in here I wanted to have that Grayskull is kind of like how they portrayed it in, the Thundercats He-Man crossover, and subsequently the Injustice crossover, which was the sequel. In that story, the Castle Grayskull is like a key to the multiverse. It basically allows you to traverse the multiverse and see the different universes. So as they're doing this, there's also the invasion of Etheria going on by Skeletor, who Hordak, our Hordak, who's dating Entrapta, which I still find is weird, is Horde Prime was even scared of Skeletor. There were a few people that Horde Prime will never admit, but he was terrified of these people. And among those was Megatron, Mumra, Venger. It was people like that. So it kind of all culminated into a big battle with Skeletor. And it's just the briefest of it. I'm just kind of giving over the cliff notes here and there. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this She-Ra He-Man story? You guys like it, hate it? I might expand a little more on it, but for now I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about. But once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.